Hey everybody, it's Cyborg, joined by Temp once again, and we are reviewing the Injustice comic series in full. So, all the issues, all the years, going from start to finish. So, stick with us, guys. If you're just tuning in, I would check out the previous issues first, but once you get all those done, definitely come check this one out. We are doing Year 2, issue number 8, as you can see here. And we're just going to jump right into this. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a phone, all the things that you do with telegrams, telepigeons,
Telecasters.
television. Okay. Telemundo is a TV show.
Ooh.
Spanish.
I used to watch Dragon Ball on that.
There you go. Okay. So, in this issue, we start off with Sinestro. Well, not Sinestro. I'm getting ahead of myself. I do that sometimes. But we have a giant fireball coming out of space, and it's heading towards Earth, and then the Watchtower is freaking out. What is this giant fireball thing? It looks humanish. What's it going to do? Can we stop it? But as they're, struggling and panicking, Superman's not around, Wonder Woman's not around. He's still nursing Wonder Woman or visiting her, whatever's going on there. Anyways, before they can figure out what to do in time, it says 3, 2, 1, it crashes right into a building, and it's going to be devastation, but then Sinestro, the superhero of the day, saves the day by catching whatever this thing is, and then we find out it's Despero, and they kind of have exchanging of words. He says, "What are you doing here?" And then Despero says, "You know what I'm doing here. Your Yellow Lantern Corps beat me up and threw me down here." And Sinestro's all like, "Nuh-uh, don't tell anyone that. Stop it. What are you talking about? I have nothing to do with this. I'm Sinestro, twirl of the mustache." I'm completely innocent here. And so he takes him outside and then says, "Stop talking about this in front of my friend." No, he says, "Stand down. You don't want to do this. Please stop." Meanwhile, while he's saying this to Despero, he's actually controlling Despero's hands to start strangling himself with it. So he uses Despero's hands to strangle him to make it look like Despero is attacking him. Why, you might ask, would Sinestro do this? Is he into the BDSM? I don't know.
Oh, of course he is.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is a fair assumption given everything he's done. I mean, we saw what happened with Kyle Rayner. I mean, that was just outright kink. But, what were we talking about? Okay.
Sinestro is weird.
Yeah, the mustache twirl. Anyways, takes off the fake mustache, and there's another mustache already there. Okay. And we're back. Scene. Okay.
So Despero's basically getting very confused, is beaten up, but more importantly, confused.
Yes, Despero is wondering what is going on. He starts saying, "Why are you doing this? What are you doing with my hands?" And he's just all sorts of confused. And Sinestro's like, "Please, stop doing this. Don't." And then he's just like, "No, please, don't." Meanwhile, Hal and John Stewart are coming towards Sinestro, like, to help him. And Sinestro's like, "No, I don't make me do this. You leave me no choice." And then he creates like a bubble around Despero's head and then breaks Despero's neck. Oh, God. And then he immediately turns to Hal and John and he says, "You know what he was going to do. I had no choice. I didn't want to, but he was going to, And then they said, Hal's just like, "Don't worry, Sinestro." He put his hand on his cheek and he said, "I know. You're okay now."
He brushed the bangs out of his face and approached him.
"Daddy's home. Daddy's got you. Daddy's got you." No, he didn't do that. I mean, kind of. But Hal was very accepting, and he said, "Yeah, I understand. Don't worry. We know what was going on. You did a good thing. You saved these people." And then he mentions how Sinestro has done a lot of good deeds since their time together, I guess, and this is another one, so he's finally turning over that new leaf and he's starting to trust Sinestro. And he says, "You know what? I think we need to believe it." He tells John, "I think we need to believe in Sinestro here." So that's where we kind of leave that whole shindig. And, well, I mean, it's worth noting Sinestro obviously is smiling as he's flying away from Hal and John. So he clearly fooled them. Fooled you.
Well, he was hammering up hard, man. He was really putting on performance there.
Man, he needed a wink at the frame, like the viewers. He just needed a wink.
It was almost like some fucking like Adam West shit because he's like, "I will not let you hurt these people, Despero." I'm just like, it's not subtle. Like it's beautiful. I love it.
But then we jump from that chapter, and now we are in a nursery, or not a nursery, but a delivery room. And it's important to note that we are flash forward 7 years into the 7 years, not 7 years. That would be a long time. We'd be done with the comic, and we'd be past Injustice 2, probably. No.
I was actually like flipping through panels and shit. I was like, the fuck?
But yeah, we are 7 months ahead. So we're jumping it forward a bit, probably to move along the story a bit, because it's starting to... We're getting to that point where, like, I don't know. No, Batman's got a broken back. The Guardians aren't going to do anything. So I guess, and Black Canary's pregnant. So what are we going to do? Yeah. Like we're all out of commission here. So we jump forward 7 months where everybody's kind of getting back in the swing of things, and Black Canary is giving birth. So she gives birth to little Connor. Connor Hawk, I believe, is his name. I'm pretty sure that's his last name. He becomes Green Arrow as well, and Ollie's footsteps follows the footsteps in Ollie's place. Whatever. And there's some great Harley stuff here because Harley looks really weird in like normal getup with human-ish skin and sunglasses, but she still has the dyed hair. It's a little weird. She looks weird. Like it doesn't look natural.
Yeah, the sunglasses especially. Not having the shit around her eyes is really rough.
But yeah, and there's also a nice little segue from the first chapter to this chapter where they say, maybe someone can change, and then it goes right, as Green Lantern's saying that, it goes to Harley. So it's obviously hinting towards Harley changing by this point, and her starting to earn her trust and whatnot in the group she's in. And so anyways, Harley's talking to Black Canary, and she's getting all, googly and doogly and boogly, doogly. None of those things I just said are words, so feel free not to have closed captioning on, because I feel bad for you. We have Harley giving the little Connor, the little baby, Dingo ate the baby. She's giving the little baby Connor toys and presents and gifts, and she gives him a set of bow and arrows because it's never too soon to start. A fake mustache, which requires no explanation, obviously. So they bring that back, and the best one, of course, being the little muzzle. It's just like a little muzzle you would put on like a dog or whatever little creature, and then Black Canary is very resistant to it, and she says, "A muzzle? It's a baby, not an animal." And then she explained because she used it on her hyenas and it worked wonderfully. And then she even goes to the point of saying, you know what? You have a power of screaming really loud that hurts things and destroys things. Maybe if it gets its power of, maybe if it inherits that power of yours, maybe the muzzle isn't such a bad idea. And then we don't know if Black Canary is accepting to the idea, but she does ask for the muzzle. So I don't know if she's like, give me the muzzle, you crazy lazy. I am all over the place right now. It is 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's pretty early.
Give me the muzzle so that way I can get this away from you so you do not put this on my child. Or conversely, she could be saying, okay, you made a good point. Give me the muzzle just in case this thing starts screaming. So we don't know which one she was going for. And I just wanted to say Harley's very interesting in this fashion. She has all the same personality and spunk and pizzazz that she normally does, but she's just looks normal and humanish as much as she could. And it's interesting. It's very interesting seeing her like that. Then we jump to, or maybe that was all one chapter. I think that was one chapter. Yeah, that was one chapter. Yeah, that was one chapter. I think
so.
I think yes. I usually split these up, but that was probably one chapter in its own. Anyways, next chapter we have the Green Lanterns, and they are sneaking up on the Yellow Lanterns. They're going to sneak up on Yellow Lanterns and Superman. So they are sneaking in from space. They're trying to be very quiet. I love this little exchange because you see a ton of them. And I guess one of them gets caught. And Guy Gardner,
Same difference.
yeah, not, but yeah, Guy Gardner says, I guess the Green Lantern Corps member that supposedly gets caught, at least Guy Gardner is passing blame on, is named Bagley, and he says, how'd you get caught? You're supposed to be like our sneakiest lantern. And she comes back with, you don't think they noticed a whole damn living planet sneaking up on them? And yes, they have Mogo with them, the giant Green Lantern living planet Mogo. And it has like a giant ring on it. Like, it's just fantastic.
I did not know what that was. That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yes. It's I did not expect Mogo to be along for this venture, but yes, it's funny. But yes, they have their own Green Lantern planet. It's ridiculous, but yes. So they're bringing their entire core as well as the planet Mogo, so that's hilarious. And I just love that line. You don't think they noticed a whole damn living planet sneaking up on them? You can't. I just envision a planet just doop, 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 doop. Or maybe the Pink Panther music.
He's trying to hide behind a slightly bigger planet.
Yeah. Sneaking up behind Mars, sneaking up behind Venus. Just working its way up. Okay, and then as the Green Lanterns are approaching, they come across some Yellow Lanterns and they subdue them for now. And then we flash over to Superman. He is rallying people, all the people in the world on Earth. He starts rallying them. He goes on a message and he says, people are coming here to threaten us and to overtake us, and basically pleading for them to get up and fight. Don't just stay in your homes. And I took this direct quote because it is important. He actually says, do not let these aliens take your way of life from you, from your families. Superman, ladies and gentlemen, an alien that came to this planet Earth. He is an alien who is in a very dictatorship. I just missed Nightwing,
Yeah, no, he's a good guy. He's a solid.
Shout out to Django.
Indeed.
But yes, he is in a dictatorship role, and he has an entire army of troops that enforce a curfew and all of these other things that have happened, and he's forcing everyone into peace and will kill them if they do not. And yet he's the one saying, do not let these aliens take your way of life from you, from your families. Superman, ladies and gentlemen. As if Green Arrow's, or not Green Arrow, but as if the Flash and Hal Jordan's statements over the last few issues that we pointed out that were very hypocritical in the sense that they're accusing other people of things that Superman himself is doing. Superman himself accusing of other things that he is clearly doing. Funny. Very funny. And yet the manipulation game.
They're kind of done developing Superman. I think they've landed on where they want to be with Superman. He's just evil now. He's evil, man.
Yes, we have reached full-on 100% evil. Evil! Every villain is lemons. Okay. We're getting to something funny here. I mean, what I just said was kind of funny, but we're getting that SpongeBob reference in case you don't watch the show.
No, I don't. I will, but...
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Okay. Anyways, now we go to the Tower of Fate because Black Canary wants to be taken to the Tower of Fate, and she does not stay out long. We are led to believe that she just gave birth, and then the very same day or the next day, she is just in full outfit, ready to fight. It's crazy. This woman is just no rest for the wicked, no sleep for her. Because yes, Guy Gardner was calling her right after birth, so we are to assume that this is happening nearly the same day or right after. So, or very soon after. I mean, the baby looks, I mean, it's got like hair and stuff. But, anyways, so she is a trooper. Good for her. And we get to a very odd image coming up here where I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Where
I've been waiting to talk about this.
Batman, Alfred has attached this spinal stimulator to Batman's batsuit, which he has wearing in bed for some reason. But I guess it's probably for the spinal thing, to get his spine in working order and to help him heal. And while one of the first panels of showing this happen, Batman is clenching the sheet. And he's like on the edge of the sheet clenching and almost like all fours position, and he is clenching that sheet, and you just see his face. You see like a front view of him clenching the sheet, but you're kind of like the panel is a little like the camera view is a little bit like from the edge, a little bit pointed upwards, so you see him up and you're down below the bed a little bit, and all you see is just his clenched face, or his face. His face is clenched too, and his hand is clenching that sheet, and that looks all sorts of wrong. I swear. Out of context, that just looks like he is not having a good day.
The face itself is kind of weird. He's got like this overly exaggerated Babe Ruth chin going on, and it's just very... Yeah, it looks wrong. It looks like something's happening to him. It looks like something's happening to him.
Sexual. Something is happening to him.
Possibly of an erotic nature. Of a forceful erotic nature, yes.
Yes. Poor Batman. He's just having a rough day. Anyways. Luckily, we do get some other angles of that shot, so it helps clear things up for us. But yes, if it was just that, if it was just that, I don't know about that. A lot of things happen in the Tower of Fate. Whatever happens in the Tower of Fate stays in the Tower of Fate. He just misses Dick.
Well, he's halfway there.
We're going down a bad road here. Okay, I'm trying to maintain composure.
I mean, that's not even all the silly stuff in this chapter. Like, we could just... We can keep going if we wanted to. There's a lot of weird imagery going
yes,
on here.
There's some good stuff. Okay, well, anyways, he has a call to, fight. Everyone needs to fight now, so they're all saying goodbye to their loved ones. He wants to fight, but the dog in the background barking, Zatanna,
doesn't want to fight.
Doesn't want to fight. No, Batman wants to fight, but the others are telling him no, so he agrees to stay there. Zatanna's being held back because Zatanna's like a plan B thing, so she's obviously going to do something special if she needs to, but only when she needs to. Save the big guns for
they
last.
They literally wrote her in his DLC. That's hilarious.
Yes, we only need you, but not now. Maybe in a couple of years. Okay, for $5. Okay. Anyways, yes, he stays back, and the rest go away. But he kind of tells them, say goodbye to your loved ones, because you never know if this is the last time you're going to see them, because lives will be lost in this battle. They're getting ready to battle. Basically, his team is going to join the Lanterns, the Green Lanterns, I should say, Corps, the Guardians, and whatnot, and they are going to battle the Yellow Lanterns as well as Superman's regime. So, with that said, we see, I don't remember who all said what, but I remember Black Canary said kind of said goodbye to Connor. You had, I think it was Montoya Jackson saying goodbye to her husband, nameless guy. Batwoman said goodbye to her life because it's widely known that she is gay or lesbian or whatever. So she's saying goodbye to her wife, which was, who was her wife? It was
Renee?
Renee. It was Renee. Is it Renee Montoya?
I have no idea.
Okay. Because
I can find out, though. I think they say.
I don't think it was Renee, because I thought Montoya was the cop that's with Bullock, and I thought she was the one saying goodbye to her husband, unless that was somebody else that I'm forgetting. Maybe it was Huntress, or I don't know. Either way, people are saying goodbye to their loved ones. That's what matters here. Batman says goodbye to Catwoman. He mentions your partners, your wives, your husbands, your family, your sons, your children. And then we have Harley Quinn. just randomly a panel of her after all this goodbye saying, and she says goodbye to her mustache, her fake mustache. I don't remember the exact wording, but she was just like, goodbye, mustache. I don't know. I can't do it justice, but it's hilarious. You gotta see it.
Don't look at me like that is what she said.
Yeah, don't look at me like that. Like she's like talking to this thing, like more in depth than any of the other characters. She's like has the most in depth conversation with this mustache. And then and then we go to. It all ends with Batman mentioning to Zatanna that you are Plan B, so don't even act, even if the unthinkable happens. So if a lot of lives are lost, don't do anything, don't step in, because we have you planned as a Plan B. And then Batman asks to be transported to Oracle, so he's not going to sit it out. He says, I just wanted them to think I was going to sit it out, so that way they had peace of mind that I'm not on their, he doesn't want them to be worrying about him. He wants them to think that he is just going to be safely at the Tower of Fate. So anyways, Batman being Batman, stubborn as always, of course, he is transported to Oracle, and that's where we leave off, that it's going to be a huge fight, and that's kind of left on a cliffhanger there. And it's going to be all-out destruction. A really good issue.
Yeah, very solid. A lot of good, other than that one panel, most of the art was good.
yeah, that was it stood out by itself for some reason. That was almost intentionally drawn like that to be ambiguous. Anyways, that's a good one. I'm surprised I haven't seen that in more online memes and stuff.
Well, I guess there's just so many memes that, they start to drown each other out, perhaps, but...
Sure.
There's a lot of good material in these comics.
You could throw a Bane line, I must break you, along with that picture, and that goes really well.
It fits, yeah.
Hopefully.
I really don't have a whole lot to say about this one. It was a good issue. It was still very transitional in nature, but that's fine.
It was the calm before the storm, so to speak, yeah. It's basically that lead up, that very final lead up to the finale, which is what we only have 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 4 issues left. So yeah, it seems like they're probably going to pack a lot of punches there. People will probably die from either team, and then we'll see what happens.
I'm guessing the Huntress is going down, but that's just a prediction.
It's possible. I think she's one of the most expendable of the bunch, sure.
Well, she has not been developed at all since she was introduced. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, other than that, brief exchange where she got Batman's secret identity from him, she hasn't really had any time to shine, other than just being there as part of the crew. So yeah, I could see her going out. It wouldn't be a huge traumatic, oh my god moment, but yeah, I could see them pulling that trigger just for a loss of a life type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I expect a few, so we'll see what happens. Maybe Guy Gardner, of all people, I have no idea. But seems like Batman's team seems to be one that loses all the time, like people. Yeah. So I would not be surprised if they're all wiped out and it's just Batman.
And then it'd be nice if Superman lost somewhat at this point, but yeah, I don't see that happening. Because we know his crew. None of his crew are really anyone that doesn't show up in the game, so...
Spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Once again. Spoilers.
There might be a few
You're horrible at this. You just cannot not spoil these things.
What means the Flash? It's Green Lantern.
Okay. Alright.
But anyway, yes.
Yeah. Alright. Dog's getting crazy. Zatanna needs a petting or something. I don't know. Well, that does it for this issue and this episode, guys. We'll see you for issue number 9 tomorrow. You guys take care.
Later, everyone.
Zatanna says goodbye.